Hi, I'm Steve Petrashuk. Here at Auvik, it's my job to empower you to really own the network by making the most out of Auvik's network management system. With business-critical applications and data moving to the cloud, the network has become your client's lifeline to everything that they use to get things done. You've been trusted to manage their network infrastructure for years, but the reality is, the network has traditionally been a blind spot for service providers. Auvik fills this gap by giving you deep visibility into routers, switches, firewalls, and other network infrastructure devices, so you can provide complete, efficient network management services. Through an automated discovery process, Auvik helps you see and manage everything on the network, not just endpoints like workstations and servers. What does your troubleshooting process for a network is slow complaint look like today? I'm picturing a dreaded CLI, the same way we've been interacting with network devices since the 80s and 90s. How much time do you spend diagnosing and fixing client network outages? Backing up network devices? Auvik helps you free up your time for higher value work by automating tasks that are traditionally very manual. Today, I'm going to show you how Auvik helps you own the network. When you own and manage that critical responsibility, you can ensure that the client's connection to the cloud is reliable and secure. Let me show you. Jumping into our client-level dashboard in Auvik, the first thing that catches your eye is this network topology map. This map represents a layer 1 topology diagram, telling you exactly how all the devices on a network are connected. In my role at Auvik, I see hundreds of client networks every month, all of which I've never seen before and have never visited. Auvik's instant visualization allows me to quickly, in 5 to 10 seconds, get an excellent grasp on how the client's network is connected and configured. No site visits, and no tracing wires through dusty wiring closets. Just a few weeks ago, a service director at an MSP was telling me about how one of his techs was up on a 12-foot ladder outside of a school for over an hour, tracing a wire from the switch just to see what device it went to. Not a great way to spend an afternoon, especially when it could have been avoided by simply opening the client's map in Auvik. He would have seen all the physical connections all the way down to the workstation and endpoint level, without having to set foot outside. When your help desk gets a call that the internet is slow, say from a user named Ian, it's quick and easy to search the map for the host by hostname, find out exactly where they're connected, in this case port 1035 on the HPE switch, and quickly shift into troubleshooting mode with detailed statistics, which we'll dive into shortly. The map dynamically updates as soon as new assets come online, making it an invaluable tool in your troubleshooting process. You might be starting to ask, how exactly does this all work? Well, Auvik uses an on-premise device called the collector, which sits locally at the client site. It's about a 10 megabyte download that typically gets deployed on an existing server at the client site. It connects back to the Auvik cloud through a secure encrypted connection, and the cloud becomes the brains of the whole system. Once the collector is deployed, discovery automatically starts. Auvik will scan the network and find everything with an IP address. Once the software discovers a device, it dives deeper into it, using the device's native management protocol, things like SNMP, WMI, SSH, or the VMware API. Auvik then automatically classifies the devices that are discovered. Auvik supports over 15,000 unique devices from over 700 different vendors. But for the purposes of our discussion, let's dive into this switch here. On a switch dashboard, you're able to quickly see the device details, like the device's make and model, IP address, firmware versions, and serial number. Using these details, Auvik automatically profiles the device and begins monitoring the important metrics for this specific device. For switches, this means bandwidth information and device health information, such as CPU and memory utilization, are automatically monitored out of the box. Auvik even dives as deep as packet discards and errors on every single interface to help you spot hardware issues and device misconfigurations. Auvik allows you to dive deeper into the network traffic as well. Have a customer calling you to say the network is slow and you're scrambling to find the culprit? Or maybe you suspect someone is using a non-approved application in the network. With Auvik Traffic Insights, you can break down traffic by sources, destinations, and even applications. If the network gets bogged down at 4 p.m., you can quickly drill into that time to determine who the top users were and confirm it was legitimate business traffic. With 80% of the web traffic being TLS encrypted, it's increasingly difficult to gain visibility into not only who is consuming the bandwidth, but also what they're doing. Auvik Traffic Insights uses traffic pattern recognition and machine learning in addition to standard NetFlow metrics to determine which applications users are using. So if you're looking for that one employee using a non-sanctioned DNS server, you can quickly get your hands on that level of detail using Traffic Insights. Monitoring is only one piece of the Auvik puzzle. It also automatically backs up network device configurations for all of your firewalls, switches, routers, and access points. Apart from providing the credentials to the device, there's no additional setup needed for Auvik to save these configurations. We've done all the heavy lifting for you to automate this typically very manual process. And we've all been there, forgetting to take a backup or not being able to find the backup when it's needed. Now you can not only view the current running configuration for a device, but you can also look at the previous configurations, restore a previous configuration, or even compare changes over time. Say a tech was making tweaks to a client's firewall rules yesterday, and that client calls first thing this morning to tell you, it worked yesterday, but it doesn't work today. With Auvik's configuration comparison, you can quickly highlight the previous configuration and compare it to the current configuration side by side, allowing you to quickly find what changed. Reviewing the changes, it wouldn't take more than a few seconds to determine if the changes the tech made would impact the application your client says is now broken. Many partners I speak with are backing up devices manually, occasionally on a per-month basis, but most are more on demand. Many have told me that they're not backing up network devices at all. Generally speaking, it seems that everyone has the best intentions to back up the configuration every time a change is made. But we're human and we sometimes forget. It could be at 2 a.m. and you just want to go back to bed, or 2 p.m. in the middle of the business day and a change is rushed through. Automating this function with Auvik not only saves your operations team the time they need to focus on revenue-generating activities, but it also reduces the element of risk that you may, at some point, forget to back up that config. One of our partners came to us shortly after spending 5 hours rebuilding a configuration for a switch on one of their client sites during the business day. This is not an uncommon situation, and it was not something they ever want to experience again. Not only would Auvik have saved them almost 5 hours of technicians' time, but it also would have resulted in a much more positive client experience, minimizing the client's cost of downtime through the business day. So now, what happens if you need to log in and make changes on a network device? Auvik has built-in remote management capabilities, including an in-browser terminal and a remote browser capability that allows you to remotely access any network device directly from your browser. No need for additional software, VPNs, or jump servers. Clicking on the remote terminal will proxy a session to the network device, prompt you for your Auvik credentials, and launch the terminal right away. It's essentially a blind login that doesn't require you to track down device credentials. Now you're free to make changes to the device, which will be logged on the next configuration backup. A similar concept applies for the remote browser. We'll automatically proxy a web session to the network device without having to open up ports to the public internet. Out of the box, Auvik collects a lot of monitoring data that allows you to go back in time and easily troubleshoot past networking issues too. You'll get the evidence that you've been looking for to find out exactly what happened. And since you likely don't have time to, nor would you want to, sit down and watch the graphs 7x24, Auvik has a predefined set of alerts that are applied to all monitored devices and based on industry best practices, so you'll be proactively notified whenever there's an issue, or when there's about to be one. Alerts kick in to tell you when network devices go offline, when the internet connection is lost, when there are spanning tree changes or broadcast storms, and more, and all are being monitored from day one. Auvik will also alert on resource utilization metrics, like high CPU or memory utilization on a network device, high interface utilization, packet discards, or packet errors. Without having to spend hours or days setting up alerts, your team is able to focus on the client experience. There are also a number of informational alerts that can help you clean up network misconfigurations before they become real issues. Consider using these during network assessments, new client onboardings, or prospecting. Remember that partner I mentioned earlier, the one who spent 5 hours rebuilding the switch configuration? After they deployed Auvik to that site, one of our VLAN mismatch alerts actually triggered on the switch that they had rebuilt. So despite the tech having spent 5 hours rebuilding the configuration, there were errors in the configuration that Auvik was able to help him find, and thankfully, before it caused a significant impact to the client. Best of all, these alerts tie into your existing workflow. Auvik can deliver these alerts via email, integrations with instant messaging platforms like Slack and Microsoft Teams, but most Auvik partners opt for one of our API integrations for their PSA or help desk system, and our list of integrations continues to expand. Speaking of fitting into your existing workflow, Auvik is built for MSPs and IT service providers. The platform is multi-tenanted at the core, and we extend this multi-tenancy to our partners. Taking a look now at your dashboard, you can see that you're able to have data separation for all of your client sites, yet still have visibility across all clients from your root dashboard. The geographic map shows exactly where your clients are located. The color of the pin lets you know if there are any high priority alerts that need to be actioned for that client. Auvik also provides a list of all the clients and allows you to easily dive into each client. At the root level dashboard, you're able to manage global settings, like integrations into your PSA. You can also create and configure new alerts that will be passed down through inheritance to all of your client sites. You're also able to customize user access, giving different levels of access to different people in your organization. A user can even have different access for different clients' networks. Many of our partners will extend this access all the way down to their clients as well, with read-only access, of course. Now, if your clients will be accessing Auvik, we obviously want to support your brand. Through the Avec Settings, you're able to customize logos and color schemes to match your brand. You can change other settings here as well, like enabling two-factor authentication to increase access security to the system. Thanks for taking a look at Auvik's network management system. You are now one step closer to owning the network.